Manage by Objective, MBO. This is a video workshop presentation of the TRACOM Leadership Institute. This is a Level 2 management training program. What is MBO? Well, Manage by Objective, MBO, is a systematic and organized approach that allows management to focus on achievable goals and to attain the best possible results from available resources. It aims to increase organizational performance by aligning goals and subordinate objectives throughout the organization. Ideally, employees get strong input to identify their objectives, timelines for completion, and etc. MBO includes ongoing tracking and feedback in the process to reach objectives. Management by Objectives, MBO, was first outlined by Peter Drucker in 1954 in his book, The Practice of Management. In the 90s, Peter Drucker himself decreased the significance of this organization management method when he said, "It's just another tool. It's not the great cure for management inefficiency. Management by Objectives works if you know the objectives. 90% of the time, you don't." Core concepts. According to Drucker, managers should avoid the activity trap, that is, getting so involved in their day-to-day activities they forget their main purpose or objective. Instead of just a few top managers, all managers should participate in the strategic planning process in order to improve the implementation ability of the plan, and implement a range of performance systems designed to help the organization stay on the right track. MBO managers focus on the result, not the activity. They delegate tasks by negotiating a contract of goals with their subordinates without dictating detailed roadmaps for implementation. Management by Objectives, MBO, is about setting yourself objectives and then breaking these down into more specific goals or key results. Main principle. The principle behind Management by Objectives, MBO, is to make sure that everybody within the organization has a clear understanding of the aims or objectives of that organization, as well as an awareness of their own roles and responsibilities in achieving those aims. The complete MBO system is to get managers and empowered employees acting to implement and achieve their plans, which automatically achieve those of the organization. Where to use MBO. The MBO style is appropriate for knowledge-based enterprises when your staff is competent. It is appropriate in situations where you wish to build employees' management and self-leadership skills and tap their creativity, tacit knowledge, and initiative. Setting objectives. In Management by Objectives systems, objectives are written down for each level of the organization, and individuals are given specific aims and targets. The principle behind this is to ensure that people know what the organization is trying to achieve, what their part of the organization must do to achieve those aims, and how, as individuals, they are expected to help. This presupposes that the organization's programs and methods have been fully considered. If they have not, start by constructing team objectives and ask team members to share in the process. One thing an MBO system should provide is focus. Have your objectives precise and keep their numbers small. Most people disobey this rule and try to focus on everything and end up with no focus at all. For Management by Objectives to be effective, individual managers must understand the specific objectives of their job and how those objectives fit in with the overall company objectives set by the board of directors. A manager's job should be based on the task performed in order to attain the company's objectives. The manager should be directed and controlled by the objectives of the performance rather than by his boss. The managers of various units or subunits or sections of an organization should know not only the objectives of their unit, but should also actively participate in setting these objectives and take responsibility for them. The review mechanism enables leaders to measure the performance of their managers, especially in the key result areas: marketing, innovation, human organization, financial resources, physical resources, productivity, social responsibility, and profit requirements. However, in recent years, opinion has moved away from the idea of placing managers into formal, rigid systems of objectives. Today, when maximum flexibility is essential, achieving the objective rightly is more important. Balance between management and employee empowerment. The balance between management and employee empowerment has to be struck, not by thinkers, but by practicing managers. Turning their aims into successful actions forces managers to master 5 basic operations. 1. Setting objectives. 2. Organizing the group. 3. Motivating and communicating. 4. Measuring performance. And 5. Developing people, including yourself. These management by objectives operations are all compatible with empowerment if you follow the main principle of decentralization, that is, telling people what is to be done, but letting them achieve it in their own way. To make the principle work well, people need to be able to develop personally. Further, different people have a different hierarchy of needs, and thus need to be managed differently if they are to perform well and achieve their potential. Empowerment recognizes the demise of the command and control system, but remains a term of power and rank. A manager should view members of his or her team as a conductor regards the players in an orchestra, as individuals whose particular skills contribute to the success of the enterprise. While people are still subordinates, the superior is increasingly dependent on the subordinates for getting results in their area of responsibility where they have the requisite knowledge. In turn, the subordinates depend on the superior for direction and above all to define the score for the entire organization. That is, what standards and values, performance, and results. Individual responsibility. Management by Objectives, MBO, creates a link between top managers' strategic thinking and the strategy's implementation lower down. Responsibility for objectives is passed from the organization to its individual members. It is especially important for knowledge-based organizations, where all members have to be able to control their own work by feeding back from the results to their objectives. Management by objectives is achieved through self-control, the tool of effectiveness. Today, the worker is a self-manager whose decisions are of decisive importance for results. In such an organization, management has to ask each employee 3 questions. 1. What should we hold you accountable for? 2. What information do you need? And 3. What information do you owe the rest of us?